we are going to go ahead and switch into our reading lesson and take some opportunity to be responsible. You will need your notebook. If you don't have the notebook that you're supposed to have, just go ahead and grab some paper to write down on. Go ahead and go grab some paper or your notebook. I'd like for you to get your reading notebook. If you have separate notebooks, you'll need your reading notebook. Awesome. And you are going to label the notes page main idea. Main idea. I will type that in the chat. Main idea. Remember, I will be uploading a picture of this to Seesaw when it's done. So if you don't get caught up, that's all right. You will have time when this is on Seesaw in your resources, okay? But I do want you to be taking notes with us today. All right? So main idea. Main idea is the central idea, or what a text is mostly about. So main idea is what a text is mostly about. Main idea is what a text is mostly about. And I will type that into the chat too in case it's difficult to see here. Main idea is what a text is mostly about. Oops, not an out, about. Main idea is what a text is mostly about. Main idea is what a text is mostly about. Main idea is what a text is mostly about. One thing that's very important to remember is main idea is a sentence, not a word, okay? So main idea is a sentence. Let's see how we want to put this. So main idea is a sentence. It is not a word. And here's what that means. When you are saying what the main idea of a text is, you will not tell me one word. So here's an example of something that would be wrong. The main idea is flowers. That's a word, which means it's a topic. A main idea is a sentence that gives you specific information about the topic. So here's an example of what would be correct. The main idea is how flowers grow. Now it's a full sentence and it's more than a one-word topic, okay? So main idea is different from a topic. It gives you specific information about a concept. So main idea is a sentence, not a word. So if you tell me the main idea is dogs, that's wrong because dogs is a word. We are writing sentences. So the main idea is how dogs are trained. That's a main idea because it tells me what about the topic you're learning. Okay? So it's a sentence, not a word. So do not say the main idea is plants. Plants is a topic, okay? You could tell me the main idea is how plants spread their seeds. Now we've got a main idea. Right. So main idea is a sentence. It is not a word. Okay. All right, we're going to continue on. We have 3 questions to ask ourselves. So, how do I find the main idea? How do I find the main idea? How do I find the main idea? There are 3 questions that I'd like for you to ask. How do I find the main idea? And again, I will put this in the chat. so that you can copy it from there if you're struggling to see. How do I find the main idea? How do I find the main idea? There's going to be 3 things that you will ask yourself. Three things that we will ask ourselves, I'll tell you and then we'll write them, are first, what is the title? The title of a text usually clues us in on the main idea. The second thing is, what can the pictures tell me? Pictures will be related to the topic. The third thing and the last thing that we'll ask is, what words are repeated? Okay, so let's write these down one by one. So the first thing that we are going to say is 1, what is the title? Titles tell us what the text that we are reading is going to be about. If I were to pick up a book titled A Dog's Life, I would not expect to read about cats because the title told me that I'm going to be reading about dogs. I would also not expect to read about a talking dog that does tricks because it says A Dog's Life. So I should be learning about what it means to what happens in a dog's life. So the first thing that we are writing down is, what is the title? The title is your first clue to the main idea. And again, that's in that chat. What is the title? So the second way that we can find the main idea is to look at the pictures. Okay? In a text, we can look at the pictures. There you go. After this, we'll have one more thing to write, and that will be the last section of notes that we are taking today. The last thing that helps you find the main idea is to find out what words are repeated. What words are repeated? So for example, if we stick with the A Dog's Life text, I would expect to see words like dog over and over and over again. I would expect to see words like maybe walk or food or water, because those are things that dogs need, and those would be over and over again. So that would tell me that I'm learning about the dog's life. So what words are repeated? These are 3 clues to help you with the main idea. First is, what is the title? Second is to look at the pictures. And the third is, what words are repeated? Hey Aiden, I saw that you got kicked out. I will upload a picture of this to Seesaw, and then you'll be able to copy it from there. I'm just uploading to Seesaw now, so you'll be able to have those notes, okay? All right. So these are going to be very helpful for you as you identify the main idea of a text. We have a practice activity today with a text that's going to cover one of our science standards. All right, so we're going to be finding the main idea of a text that has a topic of plants. And remember, plants is a word, so that's not a main idea. we're going to be learning something specific about plants that we can put into a sentence today. Okay, so we are looking up for the topic of plants, but we're going to learn something specific about plants, and that will be the main idea. So we are going to go ahead and watch our short lesson video today, and we will have some discussions about it along the way. This is going to be about continuing that conversation of main idea. Here we go.
We're continuing learning about main idea and key details of a text. The main idea of a text is the most important idea, or what the text is all about. Supporting details, or key details, help explain the main idea. This is an example of what a text might be about. The main idea might be how to play soccer. There are details in the text that help explain the main idea. Those details might be: players are on a field with 2 goals. Players kick the ball with their feet. Players try to score a point by kicking the ball into the goal. Now we are going to look at a text together. This is a text you will read this week. I know that the main idea of this text is how plants reproduce. My text says millions of years ago, early plants reproduced by making spores. Ferns still use this method today. More modern plants make seeds and flowers. Others reproduce by cloning. These plants grow new plants from stems, roots, or leaves of a single parent plant. My text and pictures tell me 3 different ways that plants reproduce. If my main idea is how plants reproduce, I now know 3 ways that plants reproduce. These are my key details. I can add my detail by saying some plants grow spores. I remember that some other plants reproduce by cloning. Some plants clone. I'm going back to my text to check my other detail. Oh, I found it. I'm looking at the picture that says dandelions reproduce with seeds. Now I know another detail. Some plants have seeds. You have just learned how to find key details when you already know the main idea.
Okay, so you have just seen another example of how main idea is not a word. The main idea of that text was not plants. Plants is a topic. It is not a main idea. You have notes to remind you that main idea is a sentence. It is a full sentence, okay? So this example was, main idea is that plants reproduce in different ways. That's a sentence. And then we learned about all the ways that plants create new plants, okay? So I want to make sure we understand that if you are turning in work that says the main idea is, and you put one word, I am sending it back to you. Hear that. If you type the main idea is plants, I am sending it back to you. If you type the main idea is flowers, I am sending it back to you. You are coming up with a full sentence main idea, not a topic. Okay, that is a different skill. All right, do we all understand that? Thumbs up on your screen if you get it. Main idea is a sentence, not a word. So let's take a look at your task for the day. you guys are going to actually start a new program today, and that program can be found on your Clever site. So when you go to Clever, there is a new link that has been uploaded called Epic. I put the class code here. I'm going to also put the class code in the chat right now. If I were you, I would write this down on a piece of paper. Okay, so oh yeah, I gotta stop sharing my screen to come back to you. There we go. So here is the class code. Excuse me. All right, sending to everyone. Thank you. WEC4287. Copy that down. You will need that class code to get into Epic. WEC4287. 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 If you forget it, that's okay. I put it right here on the link for you. So you can always go back to your Clever and see it right there. Okay? So this is your Epic account. When you click on that, it's going to bring you up to a place to enter the class code. You'll type in the class code, and then you will see all of our classmates here. You are going to click on your name. Okay? So let's pretend for a moment that my name is Marissa. I will click on Marissa and it will bring me to my library. The first thing that will pop up is Mrs. Sousa sent you a book. This is the book that we're going to read today. So you will check it out. Okay? This works very similarly to Mayan, where you click through the pages of the text. We are not reading the whole text today. We're reading small portions. Okay? So you will look at this text and you will use this to help you. If you accidentally click out of the text and you think, oh no, where's that book? You go to your profile. So right here, view profile, the book will appear right here. You can also always search for the name of the book and it will pop up inside of your library right here. So there are several ways to find the book. Okay, so you're going to again go to Clever, go to Epic, and then you will go to the book that I have assigned you. Okay, so that is where you will find the book today. Yes, I know that many of you had Epic in the past. This is a new Epic account for 3rd grade, so I'll need you to log into this one because I can't send you books on your other teachers' accounts. Okay, all right. On Seesaw, you have an assignment, and that assignment has been released, and you can find it in your activities. It says main idea task 3. Here is the video that we just watched if you feel like you need extra time. Here are the directions.
Directions. Read pages 1 through 8 in the text called Reproduction in Plants on Epic.
Okay, there you go. You just found out you're reading pages 1 through 8. You're not reading all of the pages, just pages 1 through 8.
Directions. Read pages 1 through 8 in the text called Reproduction in Plants on Epic. Reread page 8 on slide 1. Read the main idea on the graphic organizer on slide 2.
Okay, so I'm going to pause. Reread page 8. That says reread. That means I do not click add response until after I have read all 8 pages. So when I click here, it says reread page 8. Page 8 has been copied here. It also tells you the main idea. The main idea of this text is how plant parts help meet the plant's needs. That's a main idea, not a topic. It tells me specifically about the plant. On 2, it said, read the main idea. Plant parts help the plant with what it needs. Okay, I'm on step 3. Reread the main idea on graphic organizer slide 2. Done it. Find 3 key details that explain the main idea and highlight your evidence in the text. So I'm going to have to find 3 ways that prove plants help the plant, or plant parts help the plant get what it needs. I have to go back to 1. Here's my highlight tool. I don't care what color you choose, but choose a color and you need to highlight something in the text that proves plant parts help it get what it needs. Okay, so let me be clear. If you turn this in and you only typed right here and you didn't follow the directions and highlight 3 things, I am sending it back to you. It is not done. Number 5, use the label tool to write 3 key details on the graphic organizer. So after I highlight 3 pieces of proof, I'm going to type the 3 pieces of proof. Proof 1, and then I will move it into the box. I will do the same thing with another piece of proof. Proof 2, I'm going to type it in the box. And no, you are not just going to write proof, you're going to type the details that you highlighted. Okay? Proof 2, I'm going to do the same thing in box 3. I'm going to type what I highlighted in the text and move it to box 3. Okay? I'm going to check my directions. Click check to submit. So now that I know that I have highlighted 3 things using my highlighter tool and I have typed those 3 things, I know that I can turn my work in. I am not doing that work in front of you because I'm not giving you the answers. I am showing you how to find the work. Okay? All right. That is your task for today. Your first step will be to go to Clever and get on Epic. When you are on Epic, that book will be there. You are reading pages 1 through 8. This book has 25 pages. You're not reading all 25. You're stopping at page 8 today. Okay, so you're going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right.